Hey, welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I'm here today with a big hat and some bigger opinions. Today, I am going to talk about all of the guitars from the Squier Paranormal Series. I've had the pleasure of playing and demoing every standard six string, I'm pretty sure. I think the only two I haven't played are the bass uh, and the baritone. And the only reason I haven't played the baritone is because it's out of stock, and I've heard great things about it. And I'm almost glad because I do have another baritone guitar, and I'm worried I would like the Squier one more. And yeah, there's just one less thing I need in my life, to be honest. But yeah, so I want to talk about each of these guitars, and I want to rank them from the ones that inspired me the least to the ones that inspired me the most. And I'm just going to say off the bat, this was a very hard list to compile. I am myself shocked by the results, because a lot of the things that I thought I was not going to love have ended up being my favorites, my absolute favorites from the series. So let's start talking. Let's start with the one that I'm going to surprise people with by saying this was my least favorite. Not because, and for the record, none of these are my least favorite because of quality of construction. The physical attributes of all of these guitars, minus some tuning stability issues that can be ironed out, were phenomenal. They are truly great guitars, like that feeling in your hands. Some of them are just especially like buttery and fun to play and just feel good. For me, the biggest thing is, does this guitar inspire me when I pick it up? Does it like light my fire? Did I bond with it? And some of these guitars I bonded with immediately, and some took a little time, and some I just never really they just never really connected with me on that spiritual level. So let's start with the one that inspired me the least. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tornado. I found you to be the least inspiring, even though you're perhaps the most well built. I think this had the second best neck on any of these guitars to me. I think it has just like the most beautiful of the grain patterns in them. I think the color is really, really nice. I like that subtle sparkle. But something about this, I don't know, maybe it was the scale length. Maybe I didn't have that emotional investment I think a lot of people have with this model, because this wasn't something that like I grew up watching people play in my favorite bands. So like I think the pickups probably sounded pretty good for what they are. And if I really really wanted to, if everything else had inspired me about this guitar rather than the electronics, I just swapped out the pickups, done some weird wiring stuff. At the very least, added coil splitting or something like that. But I just don't think that anything is really going to get me there with this guitar. And again, this is a great guitar. It just sometimes you can't put your finger on why something inspires you or not. I mean, it's got this really comfortable belly cut. It really is a very comfortable guitar to play sitting down. It stayed in tune better than almost any of the others. But yeah, I'm sorry to say, this was my least favorite of the six strings. All right. My second least favorite. Okay, so after the Tornado, I'm going to say it's just really hard. It's just really hard to pick. And I really am going to have to go based on how I felt about the instrument out of the box, and kind of first impressions. Because after this, like, I think I've modded, or have plans to mod almost all of them. So yeah, I just gonna, this one was an absolute toss up. Um, Let me lean over and grab it. The Cyclone. Um, it's beautiful, it's comfortable, it's really cool. Something just, I don't know. I, d- I don't want to say I don't like it because I really, really like it. So it's really hard. And I know that this was my video and it was my decision to rate these. And I don't want to rate this because I have, like, I think the most exciting mods that I'm going to do on these guitars is going to be on this one. So I think it's a great, great little garage rock guitar before any modifications, just period. And I think that it had good tuning, like relatively good tuning stability. This did like just basically come out of the box, and I unboxed it and I tuned it. I listening back to my demo of it, I don't think there's a phase issue with the switches. There was something happening in my in-ears, which was weird. So the switching is cool. I think the pickups are fine out of the box. The neck, I would give a B. Something, it's just a little bit less buttery than some of the other ones. But I think it is a lovely guitar. But when I was filming, like editing my video of it, I think it was the weird kind of, I think the pickups I expected to like them more than I did because Ryan Burke from 60 Cycle Hum really liked his pickups. I wasn't smiling as much as I was editing it. And that is why I have this as second from the bottom on my list. But Cyclone, I love you, and I am going to make you into exactly the instrument I want you to be, and we're gonna have a long and happy life together. I promise you that. Next this was the other one, the toss up, and I think that I'm very surprised to put this one in the middle because I've had so much fun with it and I've been playing it in so many demos. But again, I'm going off of kind of what came in its stock. Third from the bottom, right in the middle, the Supersonic. And this only edged out the Cyclone because I actually did grow up or have been wanting this for a very long time. It was another reason it was a toss-up was because the tuning stability on this wasn't great out of the box, and I am struggling a little bit to get used to that reverse headstock. I thought I'd like it a lot, and yeah, it's just fine. But once I put the coil splits, if nothing else in this guitar, the coil splits have been such a tremendous improvement from just the stock having just the humbucker option. And I did upgrade the pickups in this as well, but I think that doing the single coil split, after listening to videos before and after, I think the coil split had the biggest impact on why I love this guitar so much. I also love the especially skinny nut width. I think the balance is not nearly as good as the Cyclone, but it is kind of smaller, and I just kind of like balancing it up like this on the sofa and playing my little jazzy whatever I'm doing. Haha. Yeah. So this is something that I very much enjoy playing both in demos around the house. When my band had a live streaming gig, I had to choose between a couple of guitars, and I almost picked this one. I do love that kind of metallic finish. I think that would have been fun to do, but I ultimately ended up going with a different guitar for that gig. Partially because I was just used to playing on a full scale guitar for the band's shows, and I kind of felt like moving to a short scale might throw me off, and since everything was about to be recorded and put into the world, I wanted to really play it safe with my comfort level and what I'm used to, so I just kind of went with this full scale length guitar. But this is, again, lovely, love it. You've seen me playing a ton of demos. It's because I think it's a great guitar. If you do nothing else with this guitar when you get it, do the coil splitting. You will thank me later. All right. The next pick, it almost seems unfair because I did just get this in and release a demo of it yesterday, but it's already my second favorite of these guitars. It's this Cabronita Telly with these P90s. And I'm shocked by this. I fought myself so hard on getting this guitar because it's marketed as Jazzmaster pickups and a thin line Telly kind of look, and I had ordered the Jazzmaster body with the Telly pickups, and I thought, how just dumb and gratuitous would it be for my Tellys to be Jazzmasters and my Jazzmasters to be Telly? Like, how hipster can you get? But I guess you've seen the hat, so you can guess. This has the best neck feel on any of the guitars I've played. It's just, my husband was playing it, he just was calling it buttery, and he was so right. And I like the pickups a lot more than I thought I would. I'm still gonna swap them around just for some extra content. The weight on this, I think it's the lightest weight of any of these. The switching, I mean, it makes sense. It's over there. I think the knobs are fine. It's hardtail. It is also string through with easy access to the electronics. I haven't dug around in this too much, but it's just a really, really nice guitar that I think anybody would be happy with at any level of your playing experience. So yeah, this is my second favorite of these guitars, and the winner is coming up in a second. And I think probably not really surprising to anyone but me, my favorite guitar is the one I've ended up doing the most work on. But even out of the box, this was my favorite of these. I think that bridge pickup is just fantastic. I think it's the best pickup in any of these guitars, just period. I think the neck feel is really, really great. It stayed in tune pretty well. It's just a pleasure. I mean, I love Jazzmaster shape, so it did not really surprise me that I would find the shape of this very comfortable. What did surprise me was liking the electronics out of the box so much, and not thinking that it was just kind of a dumb thing to do, put Telecaster pickups in a Jazzmaster. And also, I think it lends itself so well to mods, and I feel like even if you're just looking at these guitars out of the box, looking at what it's made for, how they expect people to have fun with it is really important. This has a routing for a middle pickup, and I think that you could do a humbucker in the neck if I remember correctly. The bridge, you can't fit a humbucker in there without more routing, but they did obviously know that people were going to mod this guitar. And Tellys in general, they're great for mods. I have a 4-way switch in this, and I use that a lot. And then, of course, I put a Bigsby on it, but you could have put a Bigsby on, honestly, a bunch of these. I could do it with the Cabronita Telly, and I could probably do it with the Tornado if I really wanted to. But, I mean, this just lends itself to it. Again, mounting the strings to the back, I like that. I think that's easy. And just really a solid build construction. It is a scudge on the heavy side, but I mean, it's a Jazzmaster body. I think the color... Okay, so one of the reasons I was so surprised I like this is because I thought this was going to come out being like a light wood color. And a lot of the pictures just on the website made it look like it was going to be a lighter color. And instead, I got this beautiful dark walnut color. Yeah, I love it. So I played this in a lot of demos, and this is the one I ultimately played when my band had a live streaming show. Yes, I love it. But really, I think that all of the guitars are winners in the series. If we're gonna look back through like what I expected, if you had asked me what I thought my ranking was gonna be, I probably would have said, just like looking at them, what I was most excited about. Number 1, I was most excited about the Supersonic, 2, Cyclone, 3, this guy, 4, Tornado, and then the 5 would have been the Cabronita style Telly. So that my favorites I could not have guessed would possibly be my favorites is really surprising. I think it says a lot to just the amount of work that Fender and Squier put into making these guitars so, I kind of want to say accessible to anybody, but I feel like there was just a lot of thought put into them, and I do think they're all really solid really solidly built guitars. I think if you care about pickup sounds, I think they all sounded great with distortion. I think they sounded varying levels of good with clean. Um, I mean, I can't imagine being supremely unhappy with these guitars. And ultimately, I think a lot of the excitement you have surrounding any of them, especially ones like the Tornado that I wasn't particularly excited about, I think that does have to do with did you grow up watching bands who played these kinds of looking instruments? And I think that if I had listened to bands where the guitarists had played Tornados, I would have been really into it. I didn't expect to like it. I played a Fender Tornado in a pawn shop a few years ago, and it was a really good price, and I walked away from it, and I had never regretted it for a moment. So I didn't really expect to love that one, so that probably had a little bit of impact in what I expected. Meanwhile, all of these other styles of guitars, minus the Tele and the Jazzmaster Tele. I mean, I've played those shapes before, so I'm used to them, and they were immediately comfortable. So that probably did have more impact on my opinions. But like, I want to know what you think. I'm gonna put links to all my demos in the video description. Some of these are shipping now. Some of them I think are not quite on sale on the Fender website. I think you can probably find all of them on Reverb.com. And if you do want to buy any of them on Reverb.com, please, please, please consider using the link in the video description. It costs you $0, and we get 1% back on everything you buy, and that does help the channel. It helps a lot. What else? Yes, please like, comment, subscribe below for more videos of me yapping about guitar and playing the guitars. Yeah, if you have made some cool music and you want to release it into the world, I recommend DistroKid. Link in the video description to save 7% on your first year of DistroKid. And that also helps the channel. So many ways to help us out, even if you don't have any dollar bills right now. So thank you for watching. Thanks for understanding. Until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.